Rastaman vibration, yeah, positive. Anyways, guys, welcome to another video for today. And as you can see from the title of the video, I'll be talking about how can I say this, the structure at WWE. I'm a wrestling fan. I like wrestling so much, so things dealing with wrestling and its content, etc. People say it's fake. I don't care. That's their own opinion, but for me, it's as real as it gets, because there are some stunts that are made by the wrestler by the wrestlers, which are very true. You know, like jumping from a 12-foot ladder. You can't make that up. You know, especially when Money in the Bank is coming. My wrestling fans, I'll give you my prediction for the women's side and the men's side, but I'll give more on the men's side because I don't know the competitors on the women's side. Not because I don't want to. I'm not in a position to follow wrestling that much nowadays, but I see from X. So anyways, personally, the way WWE is being ran by Triple H, you know, it's it's in a good position. He's trying his best, you know, because one, we have to take into consideration that man was to die due to having a heart failure. You remember that disease, and due to the grace of God, he had to leave, and he became the content creator. I mean, chief creator or chief executive of the creation, WWE things, such kind of things, and he brought up to this WrestleMania 40 new era things. But let us be honest, his number one guy isn't everybody's number one guy, but it can be, you know. Cody Rhodes is not a bad wrestler, he isn't. But the energy we get from Cody Rhodes is that he's forcing it. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a Cody Rhodes fan, first of all, but as a fan, I see him forcing it. He isn't being authentic. I don't know why. He's too much script in him. It doesn't look authentic and real. You know, let him loosen up. There's no need to come with a suit, and even if he's not wearing a suit, you just feel as if maybe his best gimmick is being a mixture of a heel and a face. Something like CM Punk back in the day in 2012. He was a heel but also a face at some times. So you can't really hate him and you cannot love him. He's just there, and you like each character that he chooses, each avatar. So personally, the person who needs to be the face of the company should be Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns, those two people. Because I don't think there's any other top two wrestlers in this era who need the crown more than them. There's none. In the near future, in the distant future, maybe Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is very important into the idea of being number one for the next 10 years. You know, he's being propped up properly, especially in that group with Bronson Reed, etc., with Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, you know, that kind of people, the visionary. But anyway, the main message I had for this video is the way wrestling is run, reign, or whatever, being carried out in this modern era is there's a lot of, let's say, how can I call it? You don't expect drama as much as often, you know. During Vince McMahon's era, you could get like a lot of drama every now and then, depending on the extremities of the show, you know. During Stone Cold's era, I mean, you could expect drama and entertainment every single night on Monday Night Raw. You couldn't sleep without noticing drama. But with the modern era, yes, there is drama, but it isn't big drama, you know. Not like, I'm not saying like an Undertaker version, someone waking up from the dead, or let's say someone being hit by a sledgehammer, or someone being dropped from like 15-story building or something, or someone being thrown off from the bridge. You know, something with dealing with edge. You know, such kind of match. There isn't that idea of drama that much. There's a lot of promo. There's a lot of talking. There's a lot of in-house content. There isn't any outhouse, you know, like There are no matches that go outside, you know, like you remember that match between Randy Orton and Triple H entered Randy Orton's home, such kind of things. That's the thing that fans like. I'm not saying it we need it day in and day out, but to captivate the fans, personally, I'm not telling Triple H to do his job. He knows his job much better than me because that's his reality. But personally, as a fan, more drama is very important, I guess, for me as a fan. I like drama, I like fun, I like entertainment, and I'm not saying the entertainment that is present right now isn't sufficient. It is sufficient. It's very nice, especially the way he how can I say this? He lines up the show. You never know what happens. For example, last year's WrestleMania, we got John Cena, we got The Rock, we got who else? Undertaker in one night, and Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, the Usos. It was too much. It's like being taken to like taking cocaine. Like you're on like high. I think that's how Triple H likes his stories, but we also want different. But I think that's human nature. Once you lose something, you want it back, and then once you lose, Triple H's version, sorry, of lining up matches and such kind of promos and storylines, you'd want him back if he's fired. But I think the man is doing his level best with his best friend, Shawn Michaels. In terms of the talent. Just a minute indigestion. I told you here, I'm not editing anything. Fine. Yeah. So that's the opinion I have. Well, we saw what happened with R-Truth. R-Truth is leaving WWE, which is sad. But I think there's a storyline behind that. It's telling. He can't just leave. Maybe he can, but I don't know. Triple H is very smart. Let me say that Triple H is very smart with his stories. Let us not count him out. Our truth. But as of now, we'll take it as it is. He's not renewing his contract. There's another wrestler, Carlito, is leaving. With him, I think you could see it. He wasn't adding. I don't want to say he wasn't adding value because he was, but it just had to be. Biting the bullet with him. I think the best thing he can do, Carlito, is to start a YouTube channel and to have his own channel with wrestling activities, podcasts, live streams, or something, or in the talent, looking for talent in the, what is this area called, in Jamaica, such kind of areas, or in South America, or in Africa, some kind of places, just looking for talent. But I think his wrestling days, I won't say are over, but he can do a lot as someone in the social media, dealing with TikToks about wrestling, live streams, podcasts, videos, talking a lot about wrestling, or entering ESPN and then being someone relating to wrestling, such kind of things. It's very important that he lines up himself with that line of trade. But yeah, WWE is changing, and the only person who can make it great now, as of now, are only three people. Numero tres. 1, Seth Rollins. 2, Roman Reigns. 3, the most important player in this team is, guess who? Just guess. It is Paul Heyman. Those three are very important into shaping today's wrestling, today's like modern era's wrestling, because a lot of creation and a lot of eyes are towards them. I'm not saying the women division is useless, no. I mean, there are relevant wrestlers in the female division like Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Io Sky. Io Sky is very good. She's, she's good, at what she does. Yeah, I think in the women's side, that is it. You can't say Becky Lynch. I mean, Becky Lynch is past tense. Honestly, I don't think she needs to really pick a fight with, you know, with a young girl. I don't think there's any need. Her time is gone. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope she proves me wrong, because that's the thing. I have no problem being proven wrong with such kind of professional athletes. They are good at what they do, but her and, well, Charlotte Flair, no, it's it's a sticky period they are in. Those two, they remind me of the old era. Okay, I can't call it old. That was in 2014, 2013, 2012. That wasn't far, but they need to really come back as a team in order to renovate themselves. I mean, even Bailey, her, even her light, like the amount of storyline she's getting, the amount of, screen time and attention she's getting from the fans is important, yes, but it's dwindling slowly and slowly. It's just deeming, and then deeming, and the new one who's coming up, the new intercontinental champion in the women's division. That one has a great future in front of her. But as I said, in generality, like in general, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Paul Heyman are the ones carrying this business. Simple as it is. There's no one else. Those three are the ones who make everyone tune in into SmackDown, tune in into Raw. Because tell me this, who will you want to listen more? Who would you want to listen to more? Is it Austin Theory or Paul Heyman? And Paul Heyman isn't even a wrestler. And I'm not trying to throw shade towards Austin Theory. Austin Theory is a very good wrestler and is good looking in terms of selling the market and the business. I think that's why Vince McMahon liked him, maybe. But even me, if I was Vince, I would have chosen Austin Theory over Braun Breaker. I mean, I would have purchased Braun Breaker in a Batista type and Goldberg and Brock, such kind of mold. With Austin Theory, I would mold him like an Edge and Cena mix. I can't say Cena. Cena is special. But with Austin Theory, he has a lot of potential too. So, anyways, if you compare Austin Theory and Paul Heyman, who would you want to listen to? Or who actually makes you listen to that match or to listen to that promo? 9 out of 10 times it's what Paul Heyman will say, So that's my honest opinion. And as I finish, in the WWE Championship match with Logan Paul, John Cena, and then with Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, I think I already know who will win. Seth Rollins will cash in and he will win the World Heavyweight Championship against them. He will pin Jey Uso, I'm very sure. Cody Rhodes will betray, what's his name? Jey Uso. He has to. And that's my honest opinion. That's how I'd like it to go down. He will betray him because he would want to defeat John Cena. He wouldn't care about Jey Uso, and then that would make Roman Reigns to come back and confront Cody Rhodes. And Sam tell him, how can you team up with my cousin, and then betray him? And at that time, Jey Uso will be too low to come to screen because he's down. Because you're trying to purchase him like a proper champion. And then after that, you maybe try and say someone like Roman Reigns, after he defeats Cody Rhodes, you can say The Rock comes into play, because he's after John Cena, but John Cena is The Rock's number 2 guy, but Roman Reigns is also The Rock's number 2 guy, So it's like Roman Reigns is in a position where, is it me or is it him? And once he understands his position in the bloodline, I think that's when The Rock will have to wrestle Roman Reigns, because I don't believe it has reached a point where Roman Reigns doesn't need a belt in order to be known as great. That's very important. By the way, I need everyone to understand that. It has reached a point where Roman Reigns doesn't need a belt to be recognized as a great one, because he's already great. He doesn't need anything, and that's the beauty of it. Lots of wrestlers back in the day, such as Undertaker. Do you think Undertaker needed the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE Championship belt to be regarded as the best wrestler in this time or in this era ever? No. People knew who Undertaker was without the belt. People knew. What's his name? Stone Cold without the belt. That's how I regard my Mount Rushmore. People who don't need a belt in order to be recognized as the great ones. Those are the best. Do you think Brock Lesnar needs a gold belt around his waist so that you can say he's the best? Do you think CM Punk needs a belt so that you can say he's the best? Such kind of wrestlers are the best wrestlers, because it means their aura and their energy is more than enough to pull people from wherever they come from in order to just watch a 2-hour show or a 3-hour show. That's it. People come from Dubai just to watch, back in the day, Undertaker just to wrestle for 30 minutes. That's it. And at that time, Undertaker had no belt. Someone like Brock, he just went there and just to wreck people. CM Punk, he was good at what he was doing. He was the best at what he was doing. The best in the world, such as myself. I'm the best there was, the best there is, and the best there ever will be. Someone like Roman Reigns, he doesn't need a belt. He's too good. He doesn't. It has reached a point he needs to maybe revolve around great ones, Back in the day, maybe he would have only been wrestling Triple H, Undertaker, CM Punk, Shawn Michaels, and John Cena, Randy Orton, and who else? Batista, and who else maybe, just to add, for the sake of it. We will add only 2 more, just 9. Chris Jericho and Jeff Hardy. Yeah. I think that's his level. He's only going to revolve around such kind of wrestlers. He doesn't have to wrestle. What's this guy's name? What's his name? This who is short. I forgot his name. Rey Mysterio. I mean, there's no need. Roman Reigns is here. 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 He's here. So, he's as good as it gets. So, anyways, as I was saying, Roman Reigns needs a match with The Rock. And then, at that time, Cody will be trying to win his belt back at around what's this match? The Royal Rumble match, I think he won't win the Royal Rumble. That would be nonsense. We are tired with what's his name? Cody Rhodes. Give it to someone else. Give it to someone like Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is a champion. That one is a champion. It might be early for him, but I think what I was saying is, with Cody Rhodes, he can go to Royal Rumble and wrestle with John Cena, and then something happens and the match doesn't finish well for either of them, so it's like the match is like null and void, so it's pushed to WrestleMania. So it happens that whoever wins between Roman Reigns and The Rock will enter that match and become a triple threat. And now, because Jey Uso was betrayed by Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso is going to come back and he's going to betray someone. You never know. It might be repaying, he might betray, what's his name, Cody Rhodes. He might betray Roman Reigns. Maybe he's turning heel, Jey Uso might turn heel. Who knows? That would be the best character turn ever. From being a crowd pleaser to a crowd, no yeet. But what I was saying is, you never know. and then Cena retains for another year, and he continues his run. But it will be very difficult for Cena to retain because people will say his finishing career, this is his last time. I don't think so. I want you to understand this. And I'm a wrestling fan for like 20 years or 22 years or 23 years, close to 24. When a heel tells you something, they are lying. Right now, John Cena is a heel and he's lying. I'm very sure he cannot be in a position where that his last run as a wrestler will be a heel version of him. No, not me. One way or another, he's going to turn to a face sooner than we ever know. So yeah, that's my prediction and that's my whole thing in terms of the creativity product of the company. It's nice, as much as I am a fan who likes their top-notch quality matches. But the one wrestler I'd like to see to actually be given more opportunity and to be showcased his power is Karrion Kross. I'll just leave it at that. Karrion Kross is as good as it gets. Karrion Kross is as good as it gets. People don't understand how good that man is when it comes to the in-ring performance, when it comes to the mic, when it comes to the way he kicks a bat. There was a video I saw, that man broke a bat with his shin. Tell me who does that. You know? But with Karrion Kross, I don't think he's a wrestler who needs a belt. He needs something to recognize, so people that recognize for him what it is. That, let's say, how can I say it? Maybe I've paraphrased it in the wrong way, but you know how Taker uses the streak. I'm not saying Karrion Kross needs a streak, but he needs something other than a belt, because belts are important, but they're just fleeting. They can just go with like this. You need to find something that is yours. Roman Reigns, he got what is his, the head of the table. There's no one who's going to take that away from him. No one. Seth Rollins is all over. I don't know. That's my opinion. He's not my number one wrestler. My number one wrestler is Roman Reigns, but he's all over. But also he has something within him. People call him the architect. I think that's more within him. But yeah. Anyways, with Karrion Kross, he needs to be given more opportunity, and they need to push him together with Grayson Waller and this guy, Austin Theory. I like Austin Theory. That man is great. I like him. And of course, people will say Braun Breaker. I mean, that's obvious. He's the next guy. We can see it. So anyways, that's the end of the video, and that's my input about the WWE creative product, the wrestlers, and my opinions of it. Ciao, ciao.